Welcome to the Good Games Podcast, episode number 209. This is the show we talk about video games, gaming-related things. I'm your host, Alex Nunez, and I am joined by yet another special guest this week, Mr. Marc Knuckles Carter. How's it going, man?
What's going on, Alex? How you been, man? It's been a long time, man. Long time.
It has been a while, man. It has been a while, but I'm glad you answered the call and have joined this week's episode.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love this podcast, man. So any way to support you guys, man, I'm all for it, you know.
I appreciate that. We did have a little brief discussion earlier, though, so I'm honestly not sure how long I can keep this up, but I'm going to keep this train going for as long as I can, realistically.
You got to, man. You're the captain of the ship, you know what I mean? You can't let it go down. Come on.
Yeah, well, maybe not go down, but maybe at the very least I could hibernate it for a little bit and then pop up here and then. I don't know, but I'm still figuring things out, see what the future of the show looks like.
Well, that's cool. A lot of podcasts are doing that now. Like a lot of my favorite podcasts been like, hey, we're going to take a brief little intermission for like a half a year, and then we'll be back up, you know, with some new content. I'm like, so, you know, hey, all the great podcasts got to rest. So if you're willing to rest, definitely do so, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been basically, I think, 4 years without rest. So eventually it gets down to you.
Yeah, right. That's true. That's true.
Everything wears you down eventually.
Yeah, you got that right.
But at least for now, the show is going to continue, and we're going to talk about some video game stuff. But also, you've been doing some stuff in the video game content recently. You're still doing your Twitch streaming, right? That's still happening?
Absolutely, man. I've been streaming for, consistent now. Now I get my schedule back on track, you know. So right. just been back on PlayStation streaming and going on Twitch and just entertaining the fans and, you know, just having fun there, man. Just getting back to what I love.
That's good. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about doing something similar too, but I don't know if I don't know if it fits me, because I tend to I'm introverted and I like to play my games, you know, in my corner by myself and not without having to engage with other people. But I don't know. Every time I pop in other people's streams, it seems like a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, well, I remember the one time you came in, it was during that Dot Hack stream, man, and then you was engaging. It was like a nice little, I wouldn't say it was a debate, but it was a nice little conversation with you and a couple other people in my chat, man, about like I guess the status of certain gaming industries or gaming consoles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that, you know, but
I do. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun, and that's what I like about streaming. It's just pretty much trying to get engaged in people's minds of what they think, you know, especially concerning what they love or concerning what they're looking at as far as what the gaming world is going to be. But, you know, so that's what I love about streaming. It's not just the playing of the game aspect, but it's just kind of, you know, just pretty much having fun interacting, you know.
Yeah, interacting with the community, that seems like the biggest part of it. And yeah, some people don't do a great job of that. Like there are some smaller streamers that I'll like pop in and then like I'll try to say something in chat, but then it's like I get nothing back, so it's kind of hard to like have that kind of conversation. But at least you do a good job in your streams of like trying to foster that sort of conversation, that back and forth with people in the stream, watching the stream.
I think I try to. Even if I got to argue with you, man, we'll make it a stream a little bit.
Any reaction is a good reaction.
Exactly.
That's dope. You've also got something else in the works, I've heard. I don't know if you want to talk about that at all.
Yeah, so me and my buddies, Eric the Smoke Moran, he's one of the big cosplayers out here in the country, and another buddy, Brian Civic Minded Lessick. I got to put his gamer tag out there. So me and these two guys, we're doing something called Pass the Controller. It's pretty much like a little Facebook Live discussion, like what you guys are doing, you know, online here. But we're just pretty much, you know, we want to interact with the Facebook crowd. So Pass the Controller is like a little hour-long discussion. Well, matter of fact, we just kicked off our pilot episode like late last month, matter of fact. And it was so much. We talked about a discussion about E3, you know, Game of the Year and stuff like that. We kind of ran that pilot episode for 2 hours. So it was like, you know what, we're going to shorten it from now. We try to get a feel of it, but it was a lot of fun interacting with just the number of people that came onto our live chat and wanted to ask questions, you know, and that's what I wanted too. I just want to spill my guts out about the video game world and just getting the feedback. And we got a lot of positive feedback from it too. So, you know, I can't wait to continue on with these guys, man, because again, we need a lot of, you know, like what you are doing, Alex. What Frank's been doing. We need a lot of video game content, little video game news out here, man. It's just what we live for, So that's what it's like. The passion is there, we just got to put it out there to the world,
Yeah, I don't get anything by doing this. I just do it just because I like it,
Exactly. Yeah, right. But you get a good audience. You get a good audience that share your passion, that understands, where you're coming from, And again, I can recollect past episodes where I was like, man, I wanted to curse out Alex because he talked about this game, or Frank, man, Frank said this about me. What the world is dude saying? So it's kind of like it's like being in a room but not being in a room with you guys. It's like it's what we live.
It's just
for.
Like a one-way conversation. You just want to scream at the other person, like, no, let me jump in and set you straight. But it's so hard. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know that feeling. But hey, if you're out there listening and you don't like what we have to say, you know what? Reach out. Leave a comment. Hit us up on Twitter or something. There are ways you can reach out and let us know and interact with us, even though it's not in real time.
Yeah. Trust me, you'll get a lot of hate mail, man, if you can say the wrong thing.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
take whatever I can get.
There you go.
That's cool. Is there any way? Is there any easy place to go to follow that show if there are any future episodes down the pike?
A lot of people can actually catch the content if you're on Facebook, which right now when we start on Facebook, so you can search Pass Controller or facebook.com/PTC Gaming Show. And you can pretty much just join the community there. It's a nice little small community, but hopefully we'll see it grow in a matter of time, and we'll put out as much content, man. So like I said, but basically this podcast is a homage to all the podcasts that we love as well too. So it's like listening to you guys, like, oh, I want to take that idea that Alex had, and I want to transfer it and talk more about that, expand more about that, because that was a good topic that you and Frank had, or I want to expand the topic of what IGN people had, and so basically it's a homage to the podcast that came before us,
Right. That's cool. Yeah, I saw a little bit of the first pilot episode, and you guys got a good thing going on so far. So,
thank you, man. I appreciate
wish you
that.
The best of luck.
Oh, thank you, man. It's an honor, dude. Coming from you is definitely not.
Well, and I'll try and throw links to everything that you're doing in the show notes as well, so that people can follow you if they so choose.
Awesome.
But how about we kick this baby off and let's talk about some damn video games, man.
Yes, let's do it.
So, what have you been playing lately? What's going on?
Well, I've been playing a few games, man. This is 3 games I've been playing. 4 games. 1 retro. 1 I have to come at. Well, not particularly you. I don't want to come at you, but I got to come at Frank for okay. for steering me wrong. So starting off.
I like this. Okay.
So I've been playing Need for Speed Payback. I love that game. I'm a huge arcade racing fan, and Need for Speed Payback has such a great story. The gameplay is amazing, man. I mean, I don't know. Have you ever played any Need for Speed games before, or?
Like 1 or 2. It's been a while. I think the last one the last one I got into was the I had both the newer versions of Most Wanted, and there was that other one, I forget which one it was, Most Wanted and the
Underground,
the last one that
okay.
No, I think it was the one after that Most Wanted.
I'm trying to think.
Or was it before? I can't. There's one with the cops, and then there's another one that came after that was very much like Burnout Paradise.
It's probably Hot Pursuit, I'm guessing.
Yes,
okay.
That's probably it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing. Need for Speed Payback has an incredible story. I mean, well, I guess it's pretty much the same story as like Most Wanted and Rivals. You're a ragtag group of kids, well, not kids, basically, but ragtag group of racers, and you're pretty much ruling the streets, and the antagonist is this cartel called the House, and they own casinos, they own the cops, and they want to stop you, and they want to stop you in your pursuit, and just the characters you'll get to know and love, man. And matter of fact, I'm falling in love with the antagonist, man. One of the antagonists, is this girl who runs the house. Her name is Lena, and oh my goodness, man! If anybody see any footage of Lena, how she acts and towards the racers, and she's like pretty much one of those strong women, man, those boss women that's like, so sometimes you want to cheer for the antagonist, like, okay, she's doing good, you know what I mean? But right now, they made this game as far as again, you switch up between certain people. Like for instance, you can either control Mac. Mac is his expertise is drifting or off road. And I'm
Okay.
gonna tell you right now, I cannot stand off road. I hate off road
Yeah.
so much. That game's, I guess the mechanics,
Like in general or just in this game?
just in this game, I feel like the mechanics of racing off road is horrible. That's the only bad thing I can tell you about this game.
Okay.
So it's kind of more grindy, if you do off road, but everything else drifting. And then you switch up to another character. Let's say you switch up to Tyler. Tyler's all about drag racing and just racing in general, just sprint, and then you switch up to a girl named Jess, and Jess, she's more of like the package deliverer. So she'll take a person from she works undercover. She'll take a person from the house and try to get intel from them, but you got to get from point A to point B without being detected, and so basically the backstory of all these characters, you'll pretty much get so connected with them. It's amazing, and I love how the story, the plot is, and just how the story was formatted. So this game is perfect. To me, it's one of the Need for Speeds that I'm having so much fun with. Probably in my top 3 in the Need for Speed franchise. I'll give the first 2 to Hot Pursuit 2 and Underground 1. But definitely Payback.
Yeah, that was probably my first Need for Speed game. Was the first Underground.
Oh man, it's just Underground. I love Underground, man. But Payback is definitely number 3 in that list too. So I love it. I love Need for Speed.
I can't remember. Is Payback the one where all like the cutscenes with the characters? Is that like FMV or is this something different? Am I thinking of a different game?
You're thinking of man. I think. What was the last game before Payback? It was Need for Speed Rivals. I think Rivals had that.
Okay.
But yeah. I mean, other than that, it's and that, plus I couldn't take Rivals anyway. I don't know that the story was kind of lacking a little bit, but
that's what I heard. I remember seeing like that game and I was like, this looks very silly. I don't know. It just looks like it wasn't great.
Yeah, it was.
In terms of its production.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't connect with the characters at all. So, but Payback was definitely it was a good makeup. And I just fell in love with the franchise even more. So I'm like, okay, all right. I was gonna quit Need for Speed after Rivals, man, but I was like, you know what? Let me try Payback, and I'm glad I did. So definitely a game that I recommend playing, man. Getting back to the Need for Speed franchise. But yeah, so the second game I was playing is Super Bomberman R, and
all right.
I love Bomberman. You know what I mean? So when I found out that Super Bomberman R came out for the PS4, I was excited, man. I just wish that the price was a little bit lower for what it's worth,
Oh yeah.
Right now it's $39.
What is it?
It's $39.99.
Juice. Okay.
Yeah. So you talking about and I was just playing. A matter of fact, I was just playing a few hours ago, and the only thing is, it's you're not going to get a lot of people. It's online. I'll tell you, it's online, but you're not going to get a lot of people online. Your best bet is to
for Bomberman. Yeah.
Yeah. Your best bet is to have a group of people. In your crib playing, just regular local multiplayer.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said, it's Bomberman is Bomberman. I just like it has the same physics. You go ahead and pretty much place your bombs around them and blow up bricks and get the upgrades. And you got the fire upgrade, the bomb upgrade, speed upgrade. You got your and the story. It's sort of like Mega Man. I feel like they stole something from Mega Man. You got kind of like a Dr. Wily villain.
Oh wow!
And he brings up these 5 robotic bombers and all that you got to defeat, and it just has that Mega Man-esque kind of feel to it, But
wow!
But the 3D feel, it's pretty much got that vintage Bomberman gameplay, which I love.
Okay, that's good that they didn't mess with the formula too much.
Yeah, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't play any. I didn't get a chance to play any multiplayer yet, but hopefully, hopefully I'll get a chance to soon enough, man. Usually, I'll tell you one story, man. I used to play, if I go to like a convention, I will play Bomberman, but we'll do it in a group as like a drunken style Bomberman. It kind of it's
all right.
So we'll take a shot for all the times that we die. You know what I mean? So you imagine, you get blown up, you gotta take a shot. You get it just gets funny afterwards. So that's what my love for Bomberman goes to, just hanging out with friends and then just taking shots for every death you get, So But yeah, that Super Bomberman R, yeah, it didn't sway off the classic, man. It still got that little style to it. So yeah, it's pretty good. Just wish that a lot of people play them on online, and that would be great, you know.
Can you do local in this one? In this version of it?
You can do local. Like I say, just basically that's your best bet, you know.
Right.
Because you're gonna be waiting. You can wait for a while. I mean, you wait. Let's say an average of maybe 10 minutes before somebody from a different state pops on or whatever, or from a different country. You're gonna wait at least 10, 15 minutes. You know what I mean? So if you got patience, go ahead, man. Bless your soul. You know, you got patience, and you go ahead and play online for people, and just gotta wait that much, that long amount of time.
Or maybe you hit up like a Bomberman Discord server or something, and just hit up people like, who wants some games? I'm online right now.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that too. I remember one of your episodes you was talking about like hitting up Discord servers, see if there's other people that has that same interest too. So I might just do that afterwards.
Yeah, these days it seems like there's a Discord for everything now. So it wouldn't surprise me if there is one for like Bomberman players like looking for games or sharing tech or something. Yeah,
true. You got that right. I'll check that out later on. But so the third game, and I gotta get at Frank for this one, and
I'm sure he's listening right now. So go ahead, go at him.
So I remember Frank gave a positive review, and he was praising Shadow of the Colossus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, man. I've been playing that game for quite some time.
Okay.
I hate the controls of it, man. I hate it. I hate it. It's annoying to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know. I was like, I'm testing out the controls, and I'm going through maybe about 4, colossi or I don't know what you call them, but
yeah.
I just can't get over how whack the controls are, Alex. Seriously, I can't get over it. It's horrible, man. But so, to me, playing Shadow Colossus, and I figured, because I wasn't one of those people that didn't play when the game first came out.
Yeah.
And of course, I know it has that kind of nostalgic feeling to it. So I figured that Frank probably played it when it first came out. He loved it back then, because I guess we didn't worry about controls back then. But
that's the thing. He didn't play when it came out. I did.
Yeah.
When it first came out. So I dealt with like the bad controls and the busted frame rate. But I think he played the PS3 version first and maybe didn't finish it.
Okay.
I forget what exactly happened there, but yeah. Okay. Or actually, no, he did finish it, and then I think later picked up the new PS4 version. But I thought my understanding was that they had a couple of like new control schemes in the PS4 version. Is that not the case? Can you not switch between different like control schemes?
I tried, and it's I don't know. Maybe I just got to get maybe getting some used to it. But it's like grinding, man. It's like work. It's like coming home from work, going to work, playing that game. You know what I mean? Like I got to clock out and clock in playing Shadow Colossus. Like I don't know what's up with that game, and I don't know
what is it specifically about the controls. Is it fighting the Colossus, or is it like other stuff like outside of the battles?
Oh man, just from riding your horse to get to the Colossus to moving around to fighting the Colossus. I mean, I can talk on and on about that, man. It's just I don't know, man. It's just for me, it just feels like I'm literally about to break the buttons on my PS4 controller, man.
Damn. Okay.
And I don't know what it is, man, but that's another thing. So Frank, thank you, man, for recommending that game to me, because I hate it, man. Right now, man. But like I said, maybe I just got to get some time to get used to it or whatever. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens.
As much as I love to bag on Frank, I have to say I love that game a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Granted, I haven't played it since it came out in like 2006.
Yeah.
But that game is fantastic. I would love to play it again. I'd love to check out that new PS4 version. But I mean, back then it was easier, I guess, because people were still, I guess, figuring out control schemes, especially with the dual analog stick thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they definitely do a different thing with the mechanics, like guiding the horse around. I remember learning to treat the horse as its own thing. Like it was an animal with its own thing. It wanted to do whatever it wanted to do. So I just kind of you would have to learn to just nudge it. You don't point in the direction you want the horse to go. You just press, I guess, the X button to spur the horse on.
Yeah.
And then he'll go forward. And if you want to go left or right, you just tap left or right here and there. And that's it. But
okay. Yeah. Maybe I just need to play around for a little more. But I mean,
maybe it takes some more getting used to. But how far in the game are you so far? How many colossi have you slain?
I'm probably on my 5th one right now. So it's like I've gotten feels like I gotten far, but
Yeah, you're a good portion of the way through the game so far and still having problems.
Yeah, but it's like it was hard work. Put it that way, man. It was, I'm thinking like, okay, all right, we'll get. I feel like I wanted to speed run the game. I guess that's why. I don't know if the game takes a lot of patience or what have you, but
that's definitely like the tone of it. It seems like it's more deliberate in its pace. Like it's much slower. You're not meant to like zoom through it, but there's not much to do in between other than just to take in the vistas and whatever else.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the visually, the game is beautiful. I'll tell you that the game is beautiful. The graphics, man, it's just I can tell the story is precise and is good too. I'm a man of that enjoys storyline games that are really detailed. So I know that Shadow Colossus, but it's just that gameplay mechanics, man, is what's holding me back, man. But like I said, if you love it, Frank loves it, man. And I'm like, all right, well, I gotta play around for a little more and see what happens. But
yeah. And not everybody's gonna like everything. I mean, that's the way it is,
Yeah, it's just giving a chance, but we'll see what happens. So that's one little downfall game I've been playing. But
maybe I don't know. Again, if you haven't already, maybe check the settings again because I remember hearing something about them changing up the control scheme, but I don't remember what specifically that was. Yeah. Hopefully that helps, but I don't know. But that game's ending in particular is maybe something worth checking out.
Really?
If you don't get there, maybe look it up on YouTube or something. But yeah, it's a trip.
Okay, all right, dude. I gotta check it out. Tell me, you're gonna make me work hard for it, man. It's like I want to take the easy way out and go to YouTube, but you're gonna make me work hard for it now. Okay,
yeah, man. Honestly, some of those battles, like I think my favorite Colossi fight in that game is the 13th one, and that is just I love that. Just that's one of like if I had to think about like top 10 like boss fights in video games, that fight would be up there for sure.
Really? Okay, then I can't wait to get to that point, man. Hopefully, I'll be used to controls, and then it makes it so much easier. And when I get to the 13th Colossi, and I'm like, okay, all right, now I'm having fun. We'll see what happens. But
I hope you make it there. But again, don't break controllers to get there.
Oh, you got that right. No promises, man. No promises. But so the last game I'm actually playing is going back retro, man. So I have the Retro Pi, and I plug it up, and so I went back to the Nintendo era, and so tis the season. Basically, we're in the World Cup time. And so one of my favorite Nintendo games ever that I used to play when I was a kid was Nintendo World Cup. Just because the music, just the tone of it, man, and it's just so easy, man. It's like, all right, I love it. I love everything about it. And just thinking about it now, the controls are cheesy. I mean, it's you don't have a few buttons that just kick and pass, and you can pretty much just tackle anybody. You can tackle as many people to the point where you pretty much can put them out for commission the entire game. So it was a lot.
It's made by Technos, who made the River City Ransom games. So if you know what that game looks like, it's those kinds of characters, and it's very comical and off the wall. I had this game as well. It was actually when I was a kid, growing up, I had the combos. This and like Super Spike Volleyball or something.
Yep.
So I had those two games, and I love me some goddamn World Cup. That game is phenomenal, man.
Exactly, man. It's just the jingle that I remember before I got the Retro Pi, before I got had the game downloaded. It's just that jingle, in my head all the time. It's like when the game plays and you hear the it's just that jingle just kept playing in my head for some reason for so many years. And I was like, I got to play that game again. And it's like, okay, now we're in World Cup season. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and hook up this Retro Pi. Let me play some Nintendo World Cup. And since the United States is not in World Cup, they wasn't invited to the World Cup. I was like, let me go ahead and represent the United States and go aheed and blaze through the season. So it's so much fun, man. So just get my little retro high on, and it's a lot of fun playing that game. Just going back to that game after all these years. So. Yeah.
Man, now you're triggering my nostalgia waves too, which I feel rarely happens. Man, I fucking haven't played that game in forever. And shit, it's so good. Just doing all the super moves too, like headbutting balls and going them supersonic speeds and killing the goalie. It's the best. Oh my
Oh
God.
man, you got that right. I feel like those were cheap moves, but we could do it all the time too. I remember like racking a score of 99 to like USA 99 to Japan 0. You know what I mean? It's just doing that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so much
Beat
fun.
the hell out of Cameroon just because they were the first team.
Exactly.
It's like, I'm sorry, guys, but this is the way it's got to be.
Oh man. Oh, I swear, man, that game teaches you how to cheat so much, man. But it was awesome.
And then the crazy fields too, like they got like the rocky fields, and if you run over a rock, then you're like out of commission for a little bit.
Yeah.
The ice stuff, like what? Why is we playing on an ice field in soccer? But okay,
it's the logic of it, man. It's like okay, I guess we can play soccer on rocky fields, or okay, okay, we can play soccer in the snow. No, that's fine with that. You know what I mean? I don't care. You know what I mean? So, but
who cares?
Exactly.
Back when sports games, just were emphasized fun as opposed to, being as real as possible.
Exactly. Nintendo World Cup, man. Like I said, that just, that game takes the cake, man, as far as retro sports games goes, so I love it so much, man.
Yeah, it's like a game that probably doesn't come up a lot in like those kinds of conversations. Usually you probably think of like NBA Jam or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, man. Nintendo World Cup needs more play in the world.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So especially, like I said, we're in the season now. You know what I mean? A lot of people should just dust off their Nintendo, man. Hopefully, if they have a copy of it, put it on and grind on it. That's one remake I hope they do is Nintendo World Cup. Well, we got FIFA, so I guess Nintendo ain't touching that anyway, man. But yeah. So, but Nintendo, man, like I said, Nintendo World Cup, man, they did a good job, just entertaining us as young kids back then,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing it right now. So, yeah, good job, Nintendo. I'll tell you that.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I do have another question, though, a little tangential, but you mentioned you're playing this on the RetroPie. How is that? How are you enjoying that?
I'm actually enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying it well, man. There's certain games for the RetroPie, like I think I was playing Ace Combat. I think it was Ace Combat, and I guess my controller, the inputs doesn't work for I guess certain games like Ace Combat. So it's like I'll plug it on, and like for instance, I'm getting like it's an example for Ace Combat. It's like I can't turn left or right. You know what I mean? But I guess
okay.
I guess it's just probably one game. Like I said, that's only one game that the controllers don't support the controllers that I have right now. But other than that, all the rest of the games, man, I mean, it's just the systems that I've never even heard of back then, man. The Vectrex, I never heard that. You know what I mean?
Really?
The SG-1000. I'm like, what in the world?
That I'm not aware of.
Exactly,
okay.
yeah. And I'm trying to think of off the top of my head, but those are just to name a few, yeah. But yeah, man. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and explore some of these systems that I never even, seen or matter of fact, I wasn't even born in that era. You know what I mean? Let me go ahead and,
yeah,
and touch these games that I've never touched before. But yeah, man. Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. The RetroPie, if you think about considering getting one, I know it's a lot of people getting the classic system nowadays, like the Nintendo Classic, the SNES Classic, the Sega Classic. But
yeah.
And I was one of them. I was going to get the same thing too, but the RetroPie covers it all, So I've gotten Game Boy Advance, I got Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, the Sega Master System, the God knows what systems that I can't even pronounce, and I'm like, okay, all right, I guess I don't need the classic systems that everybody's scratching and scraping off the floor, I mean, trying to get, I got the little device that's like the size of your iPhone and just plug it on the TV and I'm good, And so, yeah, so it's definitely worth getting. It's definitely worth getting. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I played with something similar. I forget if it was the RetroPie, maybe there was something else, but I don't know. I think I played it for a few minutes and I think the main problem I had was there was some I was having lag issues for some reason.
Right.
It felt like the games weren't as responsive, so I don't know if you're getting the same thing or not, or if that was just me in a weird setup.
Not yet. And I'll probably expect it, so. I guess we'll see. It depends on what type of game, maybe, But yeah, I haven't run into that issue yet.
Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it gets more people playing Nintendo World Cup, I'm happy.
Exactly. Yeah, just going back to that game.
Oh man. But all right, is that it for what you've been playing?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right, cool. I guess I'm up then.
Yeah, what you got, good sir?
I decided to get back into Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Nice, okay.
Primarily to finish the story mode because I hadn't done that yet.
Okay.
And I don't know if you've seen anything about this game's story, but the one cool thing is that it is not like every other Dragon Ball Z game where they're retelling the story of all of Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of a new story. It's sort of, I think it kind of takes place in like continuity, sort of.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it was canon or not, but
I don't know if it's canon. It might be like how the movies are, where they sort of like take like the guys can, if they've gone Super Saiyan, they can go Super Saiyan, and other things might carry over from the actual show. But I don't know if the events in the game are actually canonical with like the rest of the series.
Right.
But yeah, like you got all your favorite characters and stuff. But like, there's this whole story about like Android 21 has unleashed some stuff, and she wants to absorb a bunch of fighters, and she made a bunch of clones of all the Dragon Ball Z fighters and stuff. And,
okay.
There are these there's these waves emanating across the planet, and the waves basically disable all the fighters' power levels, so everyone is around the same level, which is why everybody can fight each other.
Right.
That's why Yamcha can like fight Beerus and that sort of thing.
Which will never happen, but yeah, I feel you.
Nope. But it's cool that they kind of like made this sort of convoluted story to kind of make sense of everything that's happening on the screen.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like, and also like you as a player are sort of like a character in the game because you're like this soul that inhabits each of the fighters' bodies to make them do what they do, because without, I guess, a soul, they're powerless. They can't even move or something. I don't know. It's a whole freaking weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I played the story mode, and I think the reason I stopped was because it was kind of boring at first, and then I realized also that there's unique character interactions based on who is on your team and who you're fighting and stuff. So depending on who's on your team, you might trigger like a unique conversation between these characters and stuff.
Got you.
Once I found out that was sort of like a collectible, I had to stop playing because I'm like, oh, wait, I need to make sure I get every single one of these on my first go. And then I stopped playing it and until I found like a list online. And then I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to use this as my checklist. And then went in and found every single story, conversation, and all that. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like the story's all right. It's still like crazy and convoluted Dragon Ball Z stuff. It's probably less good than the actual show.
Yeah, okay.
The biggest problem is that like you'll get some story stuff, but then in between that, you have like this almost like a board game layout, or like almost like a Super Mario like overworld thing where you have all these different spaces that you can go to.
Right.
And some spaces are occupied by bad guys, and if you step onto one of those spaces with a bad guy, then you have to fight them.
Okay,
but there's like a boss that once you beat the boss, then it triggers the next story event.
Right.
And then every time you have to go on this like big map, and there's like the game says like we have like 20 turns to get to the end, which is like I can get there in less, but I guess if you wanted to like grind for levels, because the more you use your characters, the more experience they gain, and there's like a link system where the more you use them, they'll increase their link, which is like even more like just conversations between you, the player, as like the soul that's inhabiting these fighters, and then with the characters. It's weird. I don't know. The whole thing is weird. I don't know what else to say about it, but I spent a lot of time playing this fucking thing. I think the whole thing altogether was like 12 hours for the story mode of this fighting game. And I was like, oh man, a lot of it you're just, doing Dragon Ball Z fights and with some story stuff in between, and it's way more complicated than it had to be.
Now I'm hearing that running through the story that it actually kind of connects with the last episode of the season. I don't know if that's accurate or.
I don't know. I've only seen the first season of Dragon Ball Super, so I have no idea.
Okay.
I guess how it all connects.
Oh man, if I spoiled it for you, my bad. But that's some.
It's fine. Like I've seen stuff. Like I'm fine with you spoiling it if you have to. But I've seen like clips here and there of everything that happens like later on, so it's fine.
Okay, got you.
But yeah, it sort of seems like they are, at least respecting what's happening in the shows. So
that's good.
There's that. I don't know if 21 is ever going to, show up in a Dragon Ball show, but I mean, the shows have been done for a while, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So we're just waiting for the movie now.
Yeah. But yeah, there's also like 3 separate arcs, and I don't know how they connect to each other because it feels like sort of like in the beginning of each arc, because you're playing like the first one is like the Dragon Ball Z warriors. You're following them as they try to track down 21, and then you finish that. And then it goes to like, oh, here are the enemy warriors. And you're following like Frieza and Cell and how they're kind of getting together and trying to face 21. And then it would seem like you're seeing the story from different perspectives, but it seems like there's like different continuities. It's bizarre. I don't understand how or why they even separated them into these different arcs if they're not connecting to each other.
Right.
It's really weird. And then the last one was really bad too, because at least in the other arcs, you can switch between characters. You're getting new characters added to your available roster at a pretty good clip. But then there's like this final Android arc. And for a long time, the only fighters you have available to you are Android 18 and Android 16. And I was like, okay, when am I going to get a new person to play as? And I felt like I was doing that for like 2 hours just playing.
Are you serious?
With those two. It was ridiculous. I was like, why? How, what? Did you guys not think about this? Okay. But yeah, it was difficult. I was like, I'm fine playing with those characters, and like the AI is not super hard.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, come on, give me at least a third character.
Yeah, right.
Like
exactly.
Fill out the roster. Come on. Jeez. It's so weird. But I finally finished the story for that game. It's fine.
Okay, that's good. That's what's up.
But yeah, like I don't know, I want to spend more time with the game. It was kind of a good excuse just to, I guess, fight more in that game because I haven't done a lot of playing of that game on a at least a serious level. But yeah, I was like doing basically all the fights. I was practicing like the basic combos and stuff, making sure I could land them consistently and stuff. So
right.
I don't know, maybe I'll go online and play more games and stuff, and instead of just Street Fighter for my fighting game fill.
No, I mean that's your baby right there. You know what I mean? So you don't want to apart from that, but yeah, I mean, like I said, you want to at least master. I know I was on it for a little bit as well too, trying to learn the basics of it. Man, it's
yeah,
and like I said, I'm trying to learn a little more of it. But yeah, I think I had like a downfall. Like you was for me, it was a little bit boring, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I just didn't get enough time for it, or just didn't get to experience it more fully. But we'll see what happens. I'll probably jump back on as well too if you enjoy the experience a little more.
Yeah, I think the game is fun. It's just like every time I go online, I'm usually playing ranked online, and that's always tough because I have, again, not really learned the game at all. Mm-hmm. So I'm just getting blown up by shit, and I'm not being allowed to play at all.
Yeah, right.
And I'm losing points, so I was like, I'm probably gonna give casual games a shot and see how that goes, and maybe spend some time practicing actual combos and learning what my characters do for once, because that's the other thing. I'm kind of like have a character crisis with that game.
You don't have like a set squad, or I know a lot of people have like a squad between like, let's say they always start off with Cell or Vegeta. I don't know if you have like a set squad for yourself that you're trying to master, or
not really. Like I had a team that I started out with at the beginning, and that's, I guess, in a way my default team. Like if I can't figure out what exactly I want to do, but that team is I've been using Android 18, Nappa, and Vegeta.
Okay. All right.
I like Vegeta a lot, just mainly as a character.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the way he plays too in the game. But I don't know. I'm trying to, because I also want to like incorporate. I want to get Ginyu on my team. Like I want to play more Ginyu because he just looks ridiculously fun, even though he may not be a like top tier character or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's silly, and I like being silly in video games. So he does all those crazy poses and calls in the crew.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I seen a video of a combo set from just the Ginyu Force, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of seeing how these characters are playing or are coming about, man. Like, okay, I'm all right. I'm kind of intrigued now, just to try them out because I never tried out them before. So yeah, Yeah, I might have to experiment, man. Go back and experiment and see what I can come up with, man.
Plus, it is satisfying as hell if you land a body change in a match. It is the best.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I did it to Frank one time, and I was like super pleased with myself.
Oh, man, I got to see that.
I don't remember. I think I might have saved the clip of that. I don't remember. Maybe it's on my hard drive somewhere, but it's
nice.
I remember that day well. But yeah, I've been playing some Dragon Ball FighterZ. Maybe I'll be playing more in the future.
Okay.
But I've also been playing a mobile game called Egg Inc.
Egg
short
Inc.
for Egg Incorporated, yeah.
Okay.
It's one of those clicker games, which is maybe a little dangerous for some people. But yeah, I don't know. I've heard things like, I guess people who know or play more clicker games than I do, and people pointing out to this one as being probably the best one, at least in terms of treating you like a decent human being and not trying to suck every single dollar that you have on you for this game.
Right.
So, yeah, you're basically you're running an egg farm, and the goal is obviously just to sell as many eggs as you can, and like all other clickers, you are just trying to increase the amount of money you're making, and the numbers go super high. And yeah, I don't know. It's just I really like this game a lot. I'm playing it whenever I can, making sure I'm making as many eggs as possible. There is I like the look of the game too.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got this like kind of clean art style, kind of 3D. It's from an isometric point of view. But I really love, because there's a button on the bottom of the screen specifically to make chickens or have them come out of your hatchery.
Okay.
And then the chickens go from the hatchery to like their hen houses out in the yard. And I just love like the animations of the chickens. It seems like there's some sort of like AI to them too, because some of them will occasionally get lost, which is
right.
kind of silly. But yeah, like sometimes they'll be like hanging out in front of the hen house and like, oh wait, I'm supposed to go somewhere. Where am I going? And then I'm like, come on, guy, just get in there, make some eggs, stop wasting time. But I love the way they kind of just waddle out there. It's hilarious to me. But yeah, it's kind of like your average clicker. You're spending money to get upgrades, and the crazy part is that like part of it is you're trying to also, or as you're playing, you're unlocking new eggs.
Okay.
Because you start off with like an actual like real, an edible egg as they call it in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But then later on, you're unlocking new eggs. There's like a medical egg that I guess has healing properties and shit.
Right.
And now there's like this quantum egg that can help you travel through space and time or something. This is the kind of ridiculousness that's happening. But every time you kind of level up the egg, each egg is worth more money. So you're then exponentially increasing the amount of money you're getting. But eventually that stops after some time. And that's where they have a prestige system in place where you can basically start from scratch, but I think you earn soul eggs.
Okay.
Which, depending on how many soul eggs you get, determines how much more of a bonus you get when you start from the beginning again.
Okay.
I'm not entirely clear how you earn the soul eggs. Maybe it's dependent on how far you get with what in the current level that you're in. But the more soul eggs you get, the more money you get when you start over. So then when you prestige, you basically lose all your progress. You start off again with the basic egg and then work your way up again from there. So, yeah, I don't know how many times I prestiged so far, maybe 4, maybe 5 or so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still have a decent amount of work left to do in order, at least based on there's like a timeline of eggs, and there's, I want to say at least maybe 10 more eggs that I have yet to discover. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess the other gameplay part of it is that occasionally over your farm, drones will fly by.
Okay.
And if you tap on the drones, it'll crash them, and then they will leave you a whole bunch of money. And there's one kind of drone in particular that goes by super fast, and that one is worth a whole lot of money.
Right.
And I guess it's dependent on the value of your farm. So you want to increase the value of your farm, which includes, I guess, building the biggest habitat for your chickens, because that also increases exponentially. Actually, I think one of my favorite habitats in the game is called an egg Kia.
An egg Kia.
It's basically a giant IKEA, but for eggs. It's great. This game is great.
Oh, nice. The puns, man. The puns.
Oh, you have no idea. There are occasionally you will get like newspapers dropped at your doorstep, and like giving news about new eggs that are being discovered. And at first I had to do a double take, because like it would be like, oh, hey, it's from the New York Times. And I was like, oh shit, they got like the New York Times, really? Because it was the logo and everything.
Right.
And I was like, do they have like some sort of deal going on between them? Are they like licensing the New York Times name for this game?
Right,
and I'm like, no, it's not that. It's the New York Times.
Oh my God.
And there are multiple papers like that have like similar egg puns. But yeah, this game is they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're doing a pretty good job of it too.
Well, let me ask you a question. I know for a lot of mobile games, I guess the pay to win aspect is kind of crazy. Now, is the pay to win aspect for this game, is it crazy, or is there no pay to win involved?
I mean, you can pay, but it's mainly to like speed up certain things or to get some other benefits. So there is like a premium currency, right? Mm-hmm. So normally in the game you're getting just, regular dollar bills. But there are also golden eggs that you can spend on other things. And normally the quickest way to get the most golden eggs is to just actually pay real money,
right,
with in-app purchases. But the game does a pretty good job of like giving you those golden eggs in the game. So like randomly you'll get like packages delivered at your front door. Most of the time it's just more cash that you can spend in the game, but sometimes you'll get a decent amount of golden eggs. Or occasionally you'll have the option to watch a video ad for like that's like a minute long or something. And
right.
Again, it'll tell you up front like, oh, you want to watch an ad for like this amount of in-game cash, or do you want to watch an ad for like this amount of golden eggs?
Right.
And it's usually a pretty good amount of like in-game money or the golden eggs. So I've watched a couple of videos and gotten some things out of it. So like that's the aspect of it that's like this game treats you like a human being. You can pay money to get some stuff or to get more golden eggs, but like if you're patient, like I try to be, you don't have to spend that money.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's good.
It's not like some dastardly plan where like they're locking you out of certain things. Like if you had all the time in the world, you can get some of these things to happen just by playing the game naturally. But
got you.
If you're getting a little impatient, then you can certainly pay some money to speed that along.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I figured they would lock you out from that, But if you're enjoying the game as it is, and you can progress easily without even putting a dime in, man, which is, that's rare for a lot of mobile games now. You know what I mean? But that's good though. That's really good.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. It's hard to call it a game too, because like the clickers, you're not really doing anything. You're just okay. Like I'm making chickens out. I'm holding the button to make more chickens come out of the hatchery, and then when I'm not doing that, I'm looking for like research stuff to upgrade so I can make more chickens and more eggs and increase my efficiencies and all that. But I don't know. I find these things kind of fun. Some people don't find it fun. They're like, "What are you doing? This is stupid. Stop doing this." But I don't know. I find enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, there you go. If you love it, why not? You know?
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think. It feels like this. I forget. I'm trying to remember. Like, was there like one game? What was the first clicker game? Because I feel like I don't know if I heard this story or if this is something that's kind of come through the grapevine, but it feels like it was a thing that was made as a joke, because there was a joke going around, especially I think among like game developers, were like, people just love it when the numbers go up. Why don't we just make a game where it's just numbers and they just keep going up? And so was born the clicker. Because that's essentially what all you're doing is just making those numbers go up, make them go faster, and like somehow that is oddly satisfying.
Yeah, right.
Especially to people like me. So.
Yeah, trust me, it's a that's a good point. I would think it would be like a psychological, I guess, aspect to it. That hey, this is this game is accomplishing. I'm accomplishing something from this game. I mean,
yeah.
Why stop? It's if it's beatable, if I'm going up, if I'm progressing, then might as well keep going. So
Yeah.
these developers know what they're doing for real.
Yep, they sure do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm going to call a little bit of an audible. I have been playing another game.
Oh, what you got?
And I've played some of that Absolver. That was say this month's PlayStation Plus game, or one of the PlayStation Plus games this month.
Okay.
And it's I've only spent a small amount of time with it, but I had heard about this game. It's basically, I think it's like an online melee action game is how they describe it.
Right.
And it's sort of you kind of are plopped into this world. You create your character. You can pick your fighting style, and then you're thrown in. And I just wanted to share, because I saw it and I had heard about it, but yeah, this game is incredibly complex with the melee combat.
Mm-hmm.
Not specifically in how it plays out, but in how you can customize it, because you can customize the shit out of your entire moveset. It is bananas.
Really? Okay.
So it's like your typical, like what you would think of, almost like Devil May Cry style, like sort of action. You got your light attack, got your heavy attack. But again, so far it's all melee. I think there are weapons later on in the game, because there is like a menu. There's like a slot for swords and things like that. But so far, it's just my fist right now. And I got shown the what they call, I think they're like your combat deck.
Right.
So in your combat deck are a series of moves. And I don't know if you can get more moves later on in the game as you play, or if because when you pick the fighting style, maybe that dictates what your combat deck is. I don't know if it's set in stone that way, or if it can change later. But yeah, you have a series of moves that you can change whatever you want as like your attacks and how they lead into other attacks. One of the things in the game is that you can change your stance. And the stance, there's 4 stances, and they're basically like the 4 cardinal directions, except diagonal. So one, you're looking at your opponent, but slightly to the left. There's another one where you're looking at him slightly to the right. And then there's 2 more with your back turned, again, slightly to the left and to the right.
Okay, all right.
And you can change them manually with like a button combination and the right stick. Like you just kind of point in the corner that you want to look at. But there are moves that kind of transition from one stance to the other, and you can, to that level, specify, or like specific moves will like go like a certain amounts. Like, so a lot of the heavy attacks, they are the ones that will transition you to different stances.
Okay.
So you can put like, okay, this move is going to go into this stance, and then if I press this button, it's going to transition into this specific stance. And you can customize completely how you want the moves and how everything flows from one stance to another. I'm probably not doing a good job of describing it here, but I saw the menus for it and I was like, holy shit, you can do so much with this game. And I kind of like caught like a little bit of paralysis in terms of like, what am I going to do? I don't want to touch this stuff because this looks crazy complex, but it's, it's just crazy that they went to that level of detail or just to let you customize the game that way. It seems kind of cool, but yeah, I only played a little bit. I just did like the first like tutorial area, and then then there was another area after that, and I was able to fight like PvP against one other person. And I was kind of scared at first because like the person loaded in, they're like level 25, and I'm level 2, and I barely know what the fuck I'm doing in this game. But somehow I won. I don't know how, but I beat that guy, and I was very happy about that.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm visualizing when you telling me about this different stances. I'm thinking way back to, is it like I guess like combo chaining? Is it like as far as like taking it back to, let's say how in Street Fighter, like when we played Gen, it was like changing from key style to soul style and chaining combos like that, or is it
basically
is it sort of like that? Okay, all right, because I'm visualizing when you tell me, okay, you turn from one stance and you kind of do a certain moves and you chaining combos to another stance, and then you're doing a certain kind of moves. Okay, all right, I like it. Yeah,
so like each of the 4 stances will have like their version of light attacks, and you can like put whatever kind of light attacks you want. And then the heavy attacks, again, those are the ones that transition from different stances. So like if you imagine like a big ass roundhouse kick, that's going to turn your body around like a little bit.
Got you.
So if you do that from like if I'm looking at you and I do the roundhouse kick, then all of a sudden now I have my back turned to you and now I have access to a whole bunch of other moves.
Got you. Okay.
So that's how the whole thing kind of flows. And then you also have like dodges, and I think you even have like little sways too on the right stick.
Mm-hmm.
So each of the 4 directions you push in the right stick will do something. So like left and right will do like a sidestep left or right. If you do down, it'll have you duck, and then if you press up or if you flick up on the right stick, you'll do like a little short hop to, I guess, go over certain low attacks, maybe sweeps and things like that. But there's an incredible amount of depth in this combat system. I look forward to spending more time with it just to see how deep it goes. But yeah, just the first glimpse of that whole system was like, wow, I was taken aback at how crazy it was.
Really? Okay. I might have to try that out then.
Yeah, it's free on PlayStation Plus right now if you have PlayStation Plus, but on PS4. But yeah, it was. I had heard about it a while back, and I had to check it out for myself.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, but I think with that's going to wrap it up for what we've been playing. And that leads us to our next segment called Headlines. We talk about news happening in the video game world. And if you'd like to follow along with us, go over to innercitygeeks.com, where you can find the show notes for this episode. Or you should have show notes in wherever you're listening to your podcasts. And yeah, check out the links and see what the hell we're talking about here. But I'm going to talk about our first story here. And something I kind of needed clarification from on after E3 happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Xbox One, they are rolling out their what they call their faster starts to games.
Yeah.
Or it's called FastStart.
Right.
And yeah, when they announced this at E3, I was confused because I'm like, how are you going to make the game start faster just by doing stuff on the server end? But now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they had done some work on their end. So currently, Xbox One and PS4 sort of have this feature where if you want to download a game digitally, it downloads the first part of the game that you need to play it.
Right.
So that you don't have to download the whole thing all at once before you can play the game. But a lot of games, they don't do a great job with that because sometimes you download like the first portion, you go to start the game, it's like, okay, we need to wait and download the rest of it. I'm like, or you only have like a small segment of the game to play. And then if you're too fast or something, then you have to wait for the rest of the download to catch up with you.
Right.
But the way this works is something that Microsoft is doing pretty much completely on their end with the FastStart technology. So I don't know if they had to scan certain games, but right now only certain games are supporting this feature. But basically, it's that you can download the games. It'll pick and choose the game files that you need specifically to play the game right away. And it should let you play the game without having to wait for the entire download. They do say that you should, or it's recommended that Microsoft says that you have a 20 megabits per second download for optimal fast start performance. But yeah, again, this is rolling out, I believe now as of this recording, and some of the games that will be supporting this, at least on Xbox One, are like Devil May Cry HD Collection, Don't Starve Together, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Okay.
Pac-Man Championship Edition 2, and the Walking Dead, the first complete season. And again, this story, the link we have in the show notes, it has the entire link, or the entire list of all the games that will be supported. There's a couple like 360 games and original Xbox games as well, so that will be supported too in the future. But yeah, I'm sure more games will be added to the list, but I don't know if you had any other thoughts about this whole fast start technology, Mark?
Well, my thing is, Alex, man, what's the difference between, because I mean, we were already used to it, I guess. Not well used to fast start because it came out, but we already used to, I guess, the speed of how the game's, been downloaded into our systems and all that too. I mean, is it any dramatic, or is it serious that we need this dramatic fast start program that we have to have, or can we kind of bypass it? Is it that serious to get,
I think it just happens automatically, but it does seem like it is better anyway, because again, with like the way it used to be for at least the PS4 and Xbox One games, all that was dependent on the publisher or the makers of the game. So they had to they basically had to make it so that, or account for the way that these things downloaded and what you had available to you when you downloaded, like at least that first portion of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there'd be some games where you download I've downloaded enough to play the game, but then you don't have access to like all the features in the game. At least the way FastStart, at least the way it sounds like it's going to be, is that you're going to get access to the full game. You can play whatever you want when it says it's ready to be played, which is different than the way it's been so far. So it sounds like a positive thing. But I don't know if they're like what their plans are for the future. Because again, it's a fairly limited list so far.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're going to be able to make it so that every single game available on Xbox is going to support this feature. But at least I think it's positive so far.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got you.
But yeah, I think that's it for that. I don't know if you're familiar with this series. I don't watch anime, so I know nothing, but apparently they're making a game based on the Kill la Kill anime series.
Oh, yeah, man. You got to watch that anime, dude. For real.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right.
One of the most spontaneous animes ever, but, just to
Really?
get it out there, it's quirky, but you'll love it, though, man. But, yeah, when I heard about this game coming out, I said, you know what? I definitely will try it out for myself, man, since I love the anime.
All right, that's cool. But yeah, we have a trailer linked in this article here. And it looks pretty early on. I don't know when they plan on releasing this other than 2019. But yeah, the game looks pretty good. It's made by Arxis, although it's not a 2D game. It's more like 3D, I guess more of like the Naruto games than anything else.
Okay.
But yeah, in the trailer, it shows like two characters fighting off in like this sort of like fenced off like backyard or something. And they're going at it, and the action looks pretty good. But I don't know. Have you seen the trailer? How does this live up to the anime?
I did see a little part of the trailer, and then it does. I kind of say, I'm sort of hyped for this game. The fast. It has that. That Dragon Ball S. Like, oh man, the slash is going back and forth at a fast pace. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, all right. I'm kind of loving it. I'm kind of digging it right now. So it does live up to the anime. But again, I'm hoping that, with the final product coming out, man, that at least the, it's just the combat is good, because we've been through a lot of games, anime games, man, and some of them are hit and misses. So with a franchise like Kill la Kill, man, I'm hoping they don't mess this up, But the trailer looks promising, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I hope so. Especially with like Arc Systems Works involved. They have some fighting game pedigree. Mm-hmm. But again, it looks different than anything like they've done before. I think this might be a different development studio. I don't think it's Arxis is developing. But hopefully their involvement only helps this project. But
absolutely. I have faith in those guys. I have faith in them.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you and everyone else, because, yeah, they do some great shit.
Mm-hmm.
In other news, I know you at one point, I don't know if you still do, but how's Destiny 2 been for you lately?
Oh my God, please, Alex, man, listen. Listen. And I've listened to you too, man, that your love for Destiny has fallen, man.
Yeah.
For me, I'm trying to climb back on it. My buddies been telling me like, hey, just kill it, man. And I'm like, cuz I'm trying to rekindle the fire, man, but it's hard for me, man. It's hard for me.
Yeah, some of my friends are getting hyped for Forsaken, and I'm like, man, there's some things I'm kind of excited for the new expansion, but it's just, I know it's not going to be as good as like the Taken King was.
Exactly.
I just know it.
Exactly. Matter of fact, that was one of the hype games, man. And I know y'all talked about it in the past episode was E3 when they put up those two games. It was Forsaken, and it was also Call of Duty as two console playable games that you need to have a ticket for. And I was like, there's no point in getting that, because I was like, I can't, I can't bring my love back for it. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's no point in getting a chance to play Destiny. It's like, I'll I know it's going to disappoint me. I don't know, you know what I mean? But I don't want to take that chance and be down. And I'm like, oh boy, but man, I don't know.
I hear that. I know that feeling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I bring it up is apparently we got a pair of news items for Destiny 2 specifically. But the first one is a little out of left field, at least for me. But they're apparently making a version of Destiny 2 specifically for South Korean players. And this version of the game is going to be called Destiny Guardians.
Okay. All right.
My understanding is it's supposed to be specifically for because a lot of the people in Korea, they play on what are called like PC bangs, which are basically like internet cafe sort of deal.
Right.
So it's supposed to be targeting that, and they're it's going to have the full like Korean localization as well, voices and texts, and yeah, it's one of the other things that they're adding, I guess specifically to this version, is they're adding a new NPC in the tower. So Tess Everest is getting replaced in this version of the game with a new character named Yuna, who will be selling, I guess it's still going to be Eververse items.
Right.
And Eververse is like the store in the game where you can like pay real money for cosmetic items. But it says here that Yuna is going to also offer a 25% increase to experience gain in the game as well. So I guess you can pay for an experience booster while you're playing the game in one of these PC bangs. So,
did they explain why the switch from Tess to Yuna, or?
No idea. I have no idea. It doesn't say here specifically.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
But yeah, it is weird that they had to go that route. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Tess could have filled that role the same way. Doesn't make sense why to change the NPC.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's a copyright issue or whatever, but it's just weird. Oh, well.
It is weird, but yeah, that's basically it for that. I don't know if you've got anything else to add to that story.
Oh, man. I'll tell you something, man. Koreans, man, they can grind this game as much as possible, man. And I know they'll do justice to this game, and but as far as I mean, I don't know if is this game also part of like the esports like the universe as well too? Like, is it playable? You seeing the esports play on this game, or nah, not really?
Not that I've seen, really. Not really esports. I know, at least for the first Destiny, there were people that were trying to be competitive with it and trying to set up their own tournaments and stuff. But Bungie makes it real hard because did they add it? I forget. But private matches are hard to come by in Destiny, and they finally put it in Destiny 1, but they forgot to add it in Destiny 2. Oops.
Yeah, see, that's
one of the things we forgot to put in the game that we had already made. But yeah, like it's there might be an esports scene if Bungie were like catering to competitive players, but I don't think that they're doing that right now.
Yeah, especially with the with Korea, man. I mean, I know they'll go hardcore on it, man. That it will eventually become an esports game. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
But for now, man, it's like, I don't know, it's just lackluster, man. I don't know what it is, but.
But hey, maybe this information will maybe excite you a little bit about Forsaken, because I don't know if you've heard, but Game Informer has this whole month of content and information about the upcoming expansion for Destiny 2.
Okay.
So some of the latest stuff that came out of the Game Informer stuff, or the Game Informer coverage, is that they're going to be changing the way certain like weekly events happen in Destiny. So pretty much everything is all like weekly milestones, and a lot of them you can pretty much do in a couple of hours. So now I think the most interesting thing, at least to me in this article, is that some of that is changing. So some things will happen or reset more frequently than others.
Right.
So starting in Forsaken, stuff like the Crucible and the Vanguard, which includes, Strikes and Nightfall, the new Gambit mode, and Flashpoints, they will reset every 4 days as opposed to every week.
Okay.
But stuff like the Raid and everything else is going to be still on the weekly reset. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a positive thing because especially with the way, I don't know how much of Warmind you played, but it felt like they slowed down the progression in Warmind a whole lot. Like I'm still not even anywhere near like the max level, and I try and play pretty consistently, like at least every month or so. I'm on there trying to get stuff, but yeah, it's a fucking monotonous grind right now, and the only way to level up is through weekly milestones, and hopefully that same speed of progression is not present in Forsaken.
Yeah.
But if it is, then at least you don't have to wait a whole week just to do your flashpoints, just to get your high level gear and everything. But I don't know, man.
I mean,
It's positive news, but
yeah,
I don't know how.
It is. I mean, since they shortened it the time, I mean, I don't know, man. It's
There's so many other things wrong with it. That's the
it is.
problem.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's a whole cluster of. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. But I'm just like I said. Well, we'll see as the later time progresses, man. If and they put out some certain updates, man, that is pleasing. But it's a start. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but will it bring me back? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's not going to nudge me now, but we'll see what happens later on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just feels like they're just playing catch up up to where they were with Destiny 1. And then they ended up throwing out the baby with the bathwater when they made Destiny 2. It's like, guys.
I'm telling you right now, Alex, man, they better hurry up before Anthem comes out. I'm telling you right now, man.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Yeah, man. And they know, too. Bungie knows, and they better hurry.
Yeah. Although I've been hearing good things, too, about The Division. They seem to... Well, a lot of the Ubisoft games have been doing a pretty good job of listening to their community and updating the game to a point where people are actually happy with the way Division turned out. And other games they've like the Rainbow Six Siege was a game that when it launched, it was like people were talking crap about it and for good reason. And now seems like it's a really good game.
You're right.
But I don't know. Hopefully, Bungie can learn from their peers. And not throw out all the goodwill that they've made.
Yeah, you got that right, man. I'm hoping they learn from it.
Although I am happy that the collection thing is happening in Forsaken, and I can already start deleting stuff knowing that it will be available in the collection once Forsaken comes out. So that's kind of cool.
That's good.
Yeah, I can delete shit that I really don't want to keep, but I'm just keeping it because I have no other way of keeping track of it.
That means all your shaders, man. I don't know how many shaders you got, but it's cool.
God, yeah. That update can't come soon enough.
Yeah, you got that
right. But anyway, in the other stuff that's happening, Monster Hunter World is coming out to PC, and sooner than expected. It is coming out in August.
Oh, good.
Not fall like they originally intended, but yeah, I had said I had held off on Monster Hunter World. I had been curious about it. I haven't played a Monster Hunter game before. World seemed cool. Everyone seemed excited about it, but I didn't want to play it on PlayStation 4 for whatever reason. I heard some stuff like frame rates, and I'm not saying I'm completely a PC snob, but if I can do the game on PC with the extra frames and the higher resolution,
right?
I might as well do it. I might as well wait for that. So I'm happy that this is finally happening. Hopefully, there are people still that have not played Monster Hunter World yet that I'll be willing to play. So maybe I can play with people online or whatever. But do you have any experience with Monster Hunter World?
Oh yeah, I still love it, man. Like I said, I still think to me that's I'm probably the only one, maybe the 1% that still think it's game of the year. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I love it, man. I'm enjoying my time on Monster Hunter on PS4. I can know it's probably 10 to 100 times more better on PC.
I hope so.
And I know it will. And plus, the community is strong, too. So, trust me. Remember you was talking about even finding like a Discord group, man. So, you can find a Discord group for Monster Hunter for PC, and you can jump right on it easily, man. And just plus, just people. You'll find people once you hop on the game. I mean, people is going to, ask you to jump in with them or ask you to, hey, be friends with me. And this and that, jump in. I need a guided mission to do. Could you help me? Could you help? So the community is really strong there. And then that's why this is my first time actually playing Monster Hunter was actually Monster Hunter World. And I love the community. The community is one of the best communities ever. So yeah, you're going to have it. If you jump into for PC, you're going to enjoy it. No doubt.
Okay.
No
that's
doubt.
Cool. How was your transition? Because like the first thing you hear about Monster Hunter is it is crazy difficult, like just learning how all the different menus and how everything interacts with each other.
Well, you got to take time with it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And like me, it took me a while to get used to the mechanics of it. The menu, just trying to figure out how to make traps. I mean, let's say jumping with a lot of people, and I'm seeing how they capture monsters. Setting up traps and putting a net in. I'm like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
It took me maybe about a month and a half from getting the game to figure out, oh, okay, this is how you make traps. It's okay, all right, now I understand. So I know there's a lot more aspects of the game that I don't know about yet.
Right.
But just one device, especially if you're jumping into it, man, definitely set to like one weapon and master that. Build it up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Master that. Because right now for me, I love my hammer. I take my hammer everywhere. It's like I can't switch to another weapon, man. I decide to master that, and you get so used to it where just it's like everything is flawless. So
Okay.
definitely prioritize on one weapon. I was saying like go ahead and have a master another weapon, but definitely prioritize on one weapon first before you jump into anything else. But
Yeah. I've definitely heard that before because it seems like depending on the weapon, like if you're changing different weapons, each weapon is like you're playing a different game almost because that's how different they are. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. Here's something that kind of took me by surprise. I don't know if you saw this at all, but apparently in the Uncharted games, whenever Nathan Drake takes damage, you know how like the screen gets all red and shit and you're about to die?
Yeah.
Apparently, he's not taking damage. That's just his luck running out.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's illogical. Like that's his luck running out. So
sure.
He gets hit with bullets or whatever.
No, he doesn't get hit by bullets. He's dodging every single bullet because he's so lucky. But his luck only lasts so long. So that's the way the game communicates to you that, hey, you're about to die because Nathan Drake's luck is about to run out. And one of those bullets is going to actually hit him. And that's the bullet that kills him.
Oh my God. So it made this so PG, man, for the kids. No, seriously.
Well, I mean, in a way, it's kind of realistic. Like, he's just a regular guy. He's not wearing body armor or anything. It doesn't make sense that he's taking all these bullets.
True. Yeah, good point.
But yeah, it's like that was never communicated very well in the game. So I'm kind of like shocked that this was actually what they had thought, like the people at Naughty Dog were talking about. But yeah, like this kind of came about because one of the animators over at Naughty Dog, Jonathan Cooper, had brought this up on Twitter, and Amy Hennig chimed in as well. She was the director of the original trilogy of Uncharted games, and she said, "Yep, that's true. That's how it works." And again, just kind of taken aback. It's just like one of those weird like video game trivia things. Like, yeah, he's not actually being hit by bullets. He's not a bullet sponge.
Right.
He's just really good at dodging them bullets.
So what is he facing? He's facing against stormtroopers or something? Like, what's up?
I mean, basically, it's like one of those, action type of movies, and they never hit the stars of the movie, right?
Yeah, I see now. Okay,
it makes sense. Like,
oh boy, wait till the Uncharted movie finally comes out. Wait till the Uncharted movie finally comes out, man. We see that in real life, man. Like, oh boy,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, it happens all the time in movies. Like, I guess it kind of makes sense that it would happen in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main, people are shooting you all the time. It kind of make like, sure, we're gonna make it look like it's close.
Oh boy,
but nope, they're not. He's not actually getting hit.
Yeah, I feel you. What's with the punches, man? I mean, let's say if you're getting punched and kicked, man, by enemies and all that. You see, it's I don't see that like he's not dodging punches like that unless you really actually dodge. But I mean,
I guess at that point it's an actual like damage meter. But yeah. It's all silly.
I tell you, man, video game logic, man.
For real.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Speaking of video game logic, though, I don't follow this game at all, but Fortnite is all the rage.
Oh, man.
And apparently they had this crazy event where they literally cracked the sky, and things were like sucked out of Fortnite and disappeared from the game. And apparently one of those things appeared in real life out in California somewhere. And I don't know. There's a picture here in the article that we link, and it's a picture of what is called a Durr Burger, which I guess is one of their like fake, restaurant burger shop mascot thingies.
Right.
And it basically looks like a derpy hamburger with like a tongue coming out of the patty. And it somehow mysteriously ended up in the middle of like nowhere in California. And apparently some photographer found it, and he came about it because he was scouting for a photo shoot. Take that how you will, if you believe it, if he's a plant or not, I don't know. But it's Fortnite. They have like all the money to spend. They can just do whatever the hell they want. I don't understand what's happening. What is life? But here we are.
Listen, the publicity behind this game is amazing, man. It's amazing. Yeah. I don't get it, man. For a free game to have so much hype like this, man. I mean, I think again, we thought that PUBG was like the strong game that everybody was running to, man. But Fortnite, man, I can't see it, man. That's crazy. It's a lot of, and again, like just going back to E3, I won't say half, but at least a good portion of the floor in E3 was dedicated to Fortnite, and they had so much going on. I mean, from mechanical, whatever, the little pinata horse rides and all that.
The llamas,
the llamas. I'm like, they had that on the floor, and trust me, I wrote it, man. It was so much fun, man. Too, like, but just the atmosphere, man. I'm like, what is this? This game is seriously, for a free game, these guys are making so much money. I don't know how they are, but they're making so much money. Oh my goodness, man! This game is taking a wild turn of events, man.
Mm-hmm. It's been that way for a while. And I think like a lot of the bigger games are the free to play ones.
Yeah.
Like, especially for the MOBAs like League of Legends and Dota 2. Those, again, free games, completely free, but like hundreds of millions of people play those games.
Yeah, exactly, man. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I think I saw something too the other day that like PUBG had passed like 450 million players, which is crazy because they've only sold like a fraction of that on Steam.
Right.
But then it's pointed out to me that, hey, the game's available on mobile, and the majority of people that play PUBG now are on mobile, which, again, bananas to me. I don't understand. But
I don't understand that either. I don't know how you can play on mobile, especially the game that complicated. But it's along the lines with that, it's like, you don't hear a lot about PUBG nowadays. You know what I mean? Since Fortnite's pretty much kind of masking the whole gaming universe, man. PUBG's kind of like took in the limelight and stepped back a little bit, man. Like, what's going on with that? From being Game of the Year contenders, you know what I mean, to just like, being second grade kids, like, it's just weird. It's really weird.
Yeah. Yep. Well, also, like, PUBG is not free, at least on Steam. Like, you have to pay for it. But yeah, I don't know. Like, last year was the year of PUBG, but now this year is Fortnite. It is everywhere. Everybody's playing it. Fucking Drake and sports athletes are like, that's all they play. That's the video game that they mention. And it's just ridiculous, man. It's everywhere. And now it's in like pieces of it are falling in Earth somewhere. I'm kind of scared what else is going to pop up Fortnite related elsewhere, but it's on the one hand, it's kind of cool that they're going to these lengths, but like, wow, that just shows how big they are. And
absolutely.
They're everywhere, man.
That's
it's
good.
Crazy. In less than a year, they're fucking everywhere.
That's good. Good health to these guys that's doing big with this game, that these guys are really doing a good job.
Mm-hmm. But I think with that's going to do it for all our headlines this week. And the final bit of business we've got is some new releases. So I'm going to run down the list real quick. Feel free to chime in if you know anything about these games, because I for sure don't know anything about a lot of these games this week, because it's just everybody's putting out whatever they got, because it's the summer doldrums, I guess.
Right.
But for this week, the week of July 10th, we've got Another World for the Switch, Pato Box for the Switch, 20XX for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. That I am aware of. That is a Mega Man-like game that I know Frank was fond of. Yeah, so that might be worth checking out if you're into those kinds of games.
For the Lord, please tell me it's not like Mighty Number 9.
No, it's actually good from what I heard.
Okay. Got you.
It's probably what Mighty Number 9 should have been.
Got you. Okay.
But also this week is Hotel Transylvania 3, Monsters Overboard for the Xbox One and Switch, Bomber Crew for the Xbox One and Switch, Insane Robots for the PlayStation 4. MXGP Pro for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Muddle Dash is out for the Switch. Never Out, also for the Switch. Shining Resonance Refrain for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. The Lion's Song is out for Switch. The Spectrum Retreat is out for PlayStation 4. Ghost 1.0 is out for Xbox One and Switch. Touhou Scarlet's Curiosity is out for PC. Warhammer Vermintide 2 is out for Xbox One. That is pretty good also from what I hear. That's been out on PC, I think, for a while. It's basically if you liked Left 4 Dead, this might be for you. Because it's basically that, but in the Warhammer universe. So, like, space orcs and stuff. Actually, it's just regular Warhammer, not 40K, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was going to look at 40K. Got you.
Yeah, like orcs and stuff. But yeah, it seems like the gameplay seems like it's pretty good. We've also got Phil's Epic Adventure for the Switch. Holy potatoes! ! A weapon shop! ! Is out for the Nintendo Switch. I am very curious about what the hell that game is all about. Based on the name, it seems like another of those games we talked about last week where it's like the genre or the subgenre of games where you just run a shop and people come in and buy shit from there. So, I don't know. But the name is great. We've also got Johnny Turbo's Arcade Express Raider for the Switch. Radio Hammer Station for the Nintendo Switch. And finally, the Super Spy Arcade Archives Neo Geo for the Nintendo Switch. But then we've also got a couple of Friday releases this week. So on Friday, you can pick up Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for the Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
That, again, I've heard great things about that. It was previously only on the Wii U, so it's cool that it's now coming out on a console that more people own. Sad as that might be.
It's right.
Say. Yeah, it's true. Also on Friday is Danger Zone 2 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Darts Up for the Switch. Earthfall for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Epic Loon for the Switch. Gekido Kintaro's Revenge for the Xbox One. Octopath Traveler will be out for the Switch on Friday. That is, I've been hearing a lot of good things about.
I watched a lot of
RPGs.
streams. Yeah, I watched a lot of streams with Octopath, so that was that's definitely a good game.
That's good that they're finally making good RPGs again.
Mm-hmm.
And also on Friday, Super Destronaut DX for the Switch. And finally on Friday, The Spectrum Retreat is coming out on Friday to Xbox One and PC. And that's going to do it for all our new releases. And I think that's going to do it for this very episode. Thanks to you again, Marc, for coming on, hanging out with me, talking video games, because video games are dope.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me as well, Alex, man. Seriously, it's been a pleasure, man, as always.
It's an absolute pleasure, and it has been too long, as we've said before. But,
got that right.
Yeah. So you want to mention real quick where people can get a hold of you if they want to see what the hell it is you're doing?
Oh, man, for people to get a hold of me, basically you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, just type in McNux, MCKNUX, and you definitely find me on there. Or, again, Facebook, we have our own page where we also talk about games we do like you do, Alex, man, that you can type in Pass Controller or Facebook.com/PTC Gaming Show. And, we kind of fill the void for all the other podcasts that came before us, man. So you can definitely find us there. And
okay.
Pretty much that's a place where you can find me at.
All right, dope. And if you want to follow more of this show, definitely hit us up at our home, InnerCityGeeks.com. You can find archives of all our past episodes and everything else that Inner City Geeks does. You can follow us on the social medias as well. You can at Facebook, we're at Inner City Geeks. On Twitter, Good Game Podcast. The game is singular, unfortunately. And we also have a YouTube channel. If you're into that, you can watch or not watch because there's only audio there, unfortunately. But if you want to listen to our podcast over there as well, you can. Channel name is Good Games. It's linked in the show notes as well. And, we're also wherever other podcasts are. Everywhere podcasts be, we are probably there. And if there is a way to rate and review the show, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. But I think for us, that's going to do it. Thank you again, everybody listening, for hanging out. If you want to message us too, you can definitely do that through the social medias and also via email if you'd like. You can do that over at goodgamespodcast@gmail.com. Maybe any suggestions or questions that you want answered on the show, or maybe ideas, because I'm kind of thinking about changing the format of the show. Again, maybe we go bi-weekly, maybe we go monthly or something, because I don't know if I can keep up with the weekly schedule anymore by myself.
Just don't stop, man. Just don't stop. That's all.
I'm going to try.
Yep. I'll speak for the gaming community. Do not stop, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I will try not to, but let's see how long this can keep going. But until next time, guys, good games.
Like you say, Alex, good games.